Hi, I am Caisha Sprout and I am 23 years old. These series of questions are all inspired by my song When I Get Older, which I wrote as a kind of full circle moment that I had for myself where when I was younger, I really used to be a starer and I used to stare at a lot of people. And my parents would always tell me off for it, like, stop looking. But then it kind of came full circle. This moment I went to brunch with a friend and there was this little girl in there and she was looking at me the way that I used to look at older girls. And I was so taken back. I was just like frozen. I was like, oh, this is incredible. And that night or the next day, I went and wrote this song, When I Get Older. And today we're going to be asking some very special people about their journeys of growing up. This song makes me feel nostalgic and it makes me feel proud. I think the content of the song makes me feel very nostalgic for the way I was as a kid and the way I used to see the world and see other people. Because growing up, you know, you're always trying to find yourself. You're trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. So it makes me feel nostalgic for that kind of innocence. But it makes me proud because of who I am today and where I've come and where I've been, where I'm going to. So that's what it makes me feel.
What do you see?
Well, for me, like I said, in the third verse of the song, I talk about a little girl who sees me and is looking at me the way that I used to look at other people. So that's probably the first thing that comes to mind. That moment replays for me. But I also see other little moments where I used to see people and be like, ah, you are so cool. And then try and do my hair a certain way or dress a certain way to copy them and try and be like them. Growing up, to me, is about figuring out what I want and being able to go after it and not have other people's views on the way I should be living my life impact that. I think growing up from a child of immigrant parents, there's a lot of responsibilities, there's a lot of expectations that kind of come with, you know, wanting security for your children, which is so totally fair. But figuring out that I can achieve things and the same goals but in different ways has been one of the biggest things for me growing up.
Tried to copy and ended up realizing that it wasn't you.
I mean, there's a few things. I used to have a side fringe, which, you know, we all know that was not a good time. I think a lot of fashion trends from the early 2000s really scream, you should have not done that. One of the funniest ones, I think, from growing up is I did this musical theatre program and there was this girl there who was like a teenager. She was like 17, 18 and I was like 10 at the time and she was pigeon-toed. And I thought, she's so cool and she stands like that. Maybe I could be like that, which is ridiculous because it's like you can't just choose to be pigeon-toed anyway. So that was one thing I learned. You can't try and be pigeon-toed if you are not.
What is pigeon-toed?
Pigeon-toed is when you stand like that, and I'm not built like that. And so I tried, but it didn't work.
What is one lesson you have learnt that you carry with you every day?
One lesson I have learnt is the importance of gratitude and the importance of happiness. I realized that my life has improved tenfold when I started appreciating the little moments. And when you're a kid, you really appreciate those little moments, like when someone will ask you how your day was and you'd say, oh, today was so good because I got to have cordial, or I got to have a lollipop, or I got to have, something else, or, oh, I nailed this little trick that I was doing. But as we grow up, we lose that. We lose that like beautiful childlike excitement. And I endeavor to just always make sure that I keep that alive.
Do you feel like the most authentic version of yourself as the person you are today?
I do. I think the older I get, I will become even more authentic to who I am. But at this point, today, on the whatever the date it is, I am the most authentic version of myself to date. Still making music, surrounding myself with wonderful people, and being just happy and content and excited about little things, because lots of little things make a great amount of big happiness. Hi, I am Caisha Sprout, and this is When I Get Older by me. Is her hair right? Does it look like the girl that we had seen by the store when I get old?